Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am the Bayan and I hope each one of you are doing absolutely fine, working extremely hard in your own life and enjoying life. It's a very beautiful Sunday morning over here in Kolkata, all bright and sunny, filled with winter vibes. Of course, positive and winter vibes. And I'm out with the CB350, as you can see. Although it's a bit dusty, it needs good cleaning. Will be done soon. Well, today I'm out not for a Sunday morning ride to anywhere. I mean, any coffee shop or anywhere. I'm out for a particular, purpose to find out a particular thing about this motorcycle. So we will talk about that in some time. Please pardon me about my voice as I have been suffering from cough and cold of lately. So I'm much better now, but the last 2 days have been really frustrating. So yep, have been riding this motorcycle since for the last half an hour, 45 minutes. Have done a couple of kilometers, like maybe 15 kilometers or so from my house. So today I just want to find out whether the motorcycle is overheating or not, since I had I had shifted to Motul 300V. And as a matter of fact, guys, I have done around 377 kilometers after I have shifted to Motul 300V. The bike has run for 378 kilometers, and it's all good. I mean, nothing is wrong with the engine oil. The bike is running smooth. It's more fluid now. I could, cruise at 4th gear, as you could see. It's now around 50 kilometers per hour. If you can make out, it's 50 kilometers per hour, and I'm running on the 4th gear, and it's perfectly fine. I mean, earlier with the stock oil, it was a tad bit difficult to do this particular task. The bike was constantly needing me to shift down a gear, but that thing has completely disappeared, and it's a very good thing, a very helpful thing for this kind of a motorcycle where the gearing is on the taller side. And apart from that, I just want to find out whether the bike is overheating or not. I mean, to be honest, guys, I had felt certain extra amount of heat in my legs of lately, and that had made me a little bit worried. So what I did, I had contacted my garage friend Utpal, as you all might be knowing. I have a friend who runs a garage, and he is in this business for a very, very long time. So just to get his insights about it, as to whether the engine oil could be the possible reason over here for this extra amount of heat which I could feel. And apart from that, I had done a few research over the internet as well, from where to sum everything up, I could get this information that it's absolutely normal for the engine to get a little bit more heated up if you change the brand of engine oil or the grade of engine oil recently, which I did, because the engine itself needs some amount of time to understand the change of things inside. I mean, it's a different grade of engine oil. Forget about the grade, it's a different kind of engine oil altogether. It's a East core engine oil, so a lot of thing is different with this engine oil than the one which was there before. So the engine needs to sync up to that, and the engine needs to understand how to behave with this particular engine oil. It just needs some time. So that is basically the time that you need to give to it, and during that time the engine might get a little bit more heat than usual. I won't like to call it overheat, I would just like to call it a little bit more heat than what is usual, okay, than what it used to be with the stock engine oil. So since my bike has done around 380 kilometers, so I assume that this is basically still running in that particular period where, you know, the engine is still learning the characteristics of this particular engine oil and trying to, you know, sync up to that. So I would definitely give the time to it. Whoa, someone is recording outside the car with a GoPro. That's cool. I would also like to try that out from my car someday, maybe. So yep, I would like to give that time to the engine, say for at least 1000 or 1200 1500 kilometers or so, after which I would, you know, try and find out whether it is still, you know, producing that extra amount of heat. And in this, you know, particular 380 kilometers that I had run this motorcycle with this particular engine oil, Motul 300V, I had ridden it in every possible way. Although I had not hit the highways, I would do that soon. Apart from that, I had, you know, ridden it rigorously inside the city in peak traffic conditions. No rains, of course, there has not been raining. I had ridden it a little bit aggressively at times. I had also ridden it in my cool and calm way. That's the particular riding style that I prefer in this motorcycle. A very relaxed and, you know, cruising kind of riding. So I had ridden this motorcycle mostly in that particular type. To be honest, guys, there was no significant difference when I rode the bike a little bit aggressively, and till now I could not find a very significant difference in the, you know, cruisability of the motorcycle, other than that it had become, you know, a tad bit more what do you call that, fluid. I would like to call it fluid. The throttle response and everything is just fine. No change in that. I mean, if you are expecting that after you pour in this engine oil, your throttle response is going to get more crispier and all such stuffs, that is not going to happen, guys, because this is not a sports motorcycle. This is not a motorcycle of that kind where you would expect a crispier throttle response with these kind of changes in the motorcycle, like changing the engine oil and all such stuff. So don't expect that, but yes, it does get a tad bit more smooth. And the more likable part of shifting to this engine oil is, you know, the performance of the motorcycle does not fall when the, you know, engine heats up, or after you had ridden the motorcycle for say around 100 kilometers maybe. That's the most I had done at a stretch. So even after riding for continuously for 100 kilometers, the performance does not change at all. It remains the same. So that is the highest advantage that you get from these kind of engine oils over the stock engine oil. Okay, don't expect outright, you know, performance change after you pour in this engine oil. That's not gonna happen. Durability and longevity of the engine oil does change. So you can ride with these kind of, you know, high-end engine oils for kilometers after kilometers after kilometers. There would not be any difference in the performance. Performance would be persistent, no change at all. So yep, as you all have seen in the thumbnail, today we are also going to talk about the heating issue of any motorcycle, or whether this motorcycle needs any kind of, you know, monitoring of the heat, whether it is overheating or not. So first, let me explain to you all that what exactly is engine overheating, when you should be worried about your engine getting, you know, overheated. That is very important to understand first before understanding your motorcycle, whether it is overheating or not. So now see, engines are designed in a manner to, you know, sustain heat, to, you know, get heated up and perform absolutely fine in that condition. So that's how it is designed. Okay, so it is going to get hot, and in fewer engines it becomes a tad bit more hot than the other ones. So this is one of such kind of engine which you know, gets a little bit more heat than the other engines. The reason being, this is a 350cc motor which is air cooled. So when you ride in the traffic, due to the design of the due to the cooling design of this engine, which is air cooled, and air cooled engines generally cool down while you ride the motorcycle, and the wind comes and it hits the engine fins and it cools it down. So if you're riding from bumper to bumper traffic, that thing is not happening. So in that scenario, the engine is bound to get a lot of heat because it is barely getting any air to cool down. So, and since it is 350cc engine, so the heat is also being generated more. So you have to understand that. Okay, so that's why I say whenever you stop at a signal point, to make sure to shut off the engine, even if it is for a 20-second period. Now that being said, now I would like to share an information with y'all to practically understand, to practically get to know whether or not your engine, your motorcycle engine is getting overheated. Now what is the amount of heat which is regarded as overheat in an engine? That is very important to know. Okay, so of course I had googled it out as well. I just want to share it with y'all, and I would definitely show it to you. I would find some good spot somewhere, and then we will stop there, and I would demonstrate that particular method to you, to how you should get to know whether the heat produced by your motorcycle engine falls under the parameter of overheating or not. Okay, but before that, let us discuss about the other factors which are also involved in abnormal heating of your motorcycle. Apart from the engine mechanical things inside it, there are several external factors which could also lead to engine overheating. Okay, number one reason being an over tightened drive chain. Okay, this is 90% time the culprit of an overheating engine. Okay, so you got to find that out. The second reason is free wheel rotation. Now you got to check in your motorcycle whether both the wheels are rotating freely or not. Do it manually with your hand by putting the motorcycle in its main stand. Try to rotate the wheels with your hand and check whether it is rotating freely or not. That is very important. If they are not rotating freely, then there could be some issue somewhere. You got to find that out, diagnose that, and resolve that, before which the engine might get some amount of abnormal heat. Now why is this? This is quite logical, guys. If the wheels are not moving freely due to some reason, then of course the engine needs to work harder than it is supposed to give you that performance, in the process of which it gets overheated. That's quite understandable, right? So that's reason number two. Reason number three, a clogged air filter. Now these are all very simple reasons, but the engine overheating happens from simple reasons only. Now these are the basic things which you need to check first before moving on to more major side of things. If you are experiencing more heat from your engine. Okay, first check these and then move on to the major portion of it, like the engine oil or some other aspects of the engine, the mechanical portions of the engine. So yep, there are several other more major reasons which could also lead to engine overheating, like valve clearance of your motorcycle may need some sort of adjustment. That could also lead to engine overheating, engine misbehaving. If your valve clearance is not proper, if the motorcycle requires a proper tappet adjustment or valve clearance, that could be a reason. Other than that, if you are using wrong engine oil, wrong grade engine oil, improper engine oil, or something, an engine oil which is not recommended for your motorcycle or not recommended by the manufacturer for your motorcycle. If your motorcycle is running at a lower engine oil, less amount of engine oil than recommended, that could also lead to engine overheating. And yes, there's another point which I almost forgot, which could also end up overheating your engine. That is burnt out clutch plate. Okay, if your clutch plates are kind of worn out or burnt out, whatever, then also the engine will have to, you know, work a lot more harder to give you the performance you're trying to, you know, bring out of it. So in that case, it is going to eventually get more hotter, I mean more hot. So that's also another reason, but these reasons are more towards the major side. So you should first definitely try to check out the basic ones, which I had mentioned before. 99% time, the basic ones are the reasons which are, you know, generally the culprit for an overheating engine. So now that I have given you a list of things to check if you're facing any overheating issue in your motorcycle, now let's go ahead and discuss a little bit about, you know, how to determine whether or not your engine is overheating. I mean, heat is something which we sense, okay, and how to understand that the heat that we are sensing is actually something to be, you know, worried about, is actually under the parameter of overheating. I mean, how much heating is overheating? We need to understand that, right? So now see, there are several measuring instruments out there through which you could get to know the amount of heat which is being produced in your engine. But there are a few, you know, absolutely basic ways to determine that as well, okay? So let me now stop somewhere and show you how you could check the, you know, your engine, whether it is overheating or not. I have been riding mostly all morning, around 25 kilometers the bike has been running non-stop during the daytime under the sun. So a very normal riding scenario. I did not abuse it obviously, but it had gone through a normal riding scenario, so it is heated up completely now. So there are a few ways, guys. Now see, if I bring my hand over here, okay, I can definitely feel some amount of heat over here. This is absolutely normal, okay? You do not have to worry about it. So if you're riding a motorcycle with your shorts, then of course you're going to feel the heat in your legs. That's quite normal. Even if you're wearing a jeans, you could even feel it through the jeans a little bit. That's also absolutely normal. You do not have to worry about it. It's a 350cc air-cooled engine. So when you're riding it through the traffic, it's not getting any air. So it's getting heated up more and more. And that's why you're feeling the heat from your engine. So that's absolutely normal. So yes, guys, this is a method that I googled it out recently from the internet. This is not something which I had invented. So I have a bottle of water over here, so let me now take a little bit in the cap and then let me sit in front of the engine. Now see, this is basically the head, okay? Now this is the piston cylinder portion, this is the head portion from where the exhaust is coming out. So this is basically getting fire inside, okay? So this particular portion, the head, is supposed to get the maximum heat, and we are going to put some water on this particular portion, okay? And if you can see, I am trying to place water droplets. If you could see water droplets over there, it's in the head, okay, the head cap rather. So now if you could see the water drops over here, they are not vaporizing immediately. Even the one on these fins, it's not vaporizing immediately, okay? So this alone proves that it is not getting that much heated up to, you know, make you worried. You should not be worried. Now if you put some water over here and it vaporizes immediately, instantaneously, then there is something wrong with the engine, and it is definitely under the parameter of overheating. It is definitely an overheating engine. So the water is not overheating. The water is not vaporizing immediately. So that alone proves, guys, that now you could find the water is still staying over here. It's not getting vaporized. Okay, you can see that water, it's not getting vaporized immediately. So that proves that this particular engine is not overheating. So you could test this out in your motorcycle as well. But let me just tell you one thing: if you just throw the water like this, okay, and it goes to this particular portion, then it is going to get immediately vaporized, because it is more near to that maximum heated portion. So that portion is going to get a lot of heat, and that's absolutely normal. You should do this test on the head cap over here, okay, on this particular place. Now in the event of checking that, water is obviously going to get poured into these fins as well, and over there you could find it getting vaporized immediately. So that is fine, but it should not get vaporized immediately from the head cap over here. Okay, that's the theory. That's something which I have learned from the internet lately, and it had helped me immensely to understand whether my bike's engine is overheating or not. So yep, let's continue the ride and we would talk. So there you have it, guys. As I had explained, the next time you feel that you might have an overheated engine under you, so just ride the motorcycle for a couple of kilometers, and when you start feeling the heat, or when you feel that the engine now is somewhat in an overheated state, just pull over and try this trick out in the motorcycle. Like pour some drops of water on the engine head and check whether it is vaporizing instantaneously or not. If it doesn't, then you do not need to worry at all. And if it does, then of course you definitely need to look around that what exactly is going wrong. Because if it vaporizes immediately, then apart from overheating, there is also going to be a lot of difference in the performance as well, because an engine which is that much heated up will definitely not perform normal. It is definitely going to take a toll in the overall performance of the motorcycle. So before reaching that amount of heat, it is definitely going to give you all a lot of hint. So if you have been riding motorcycle for a very long time, you would definitely catch those hints much before than that situation arrives where the engine becomes overheated. So I believe I was able to transfer this information to y'all. As I said, this method is not something which I had invented. I had looked upon it in the internet and found this out a couple of days back. Since I was also I was also kind of confused, since I had swapped the engine oil with a different one. So I needed a particular method to crucially diagnose whether the engine is actually getting overheated or not. And I ended up researching a lot about engine overheating, and found out this particular method, which is very handy, does not require any big tools or any tools at all, and of course it's very easy as well. Anybody can do. And as per the Motul engine oil which is there in the motorcycle at the moment, it's performing well, all good, no problem whatsoever. It is butter smooth as always. As I said, the performance is now more fluid. The motorcycle feels more comfortable. The engine performance feels more comfortable. Everything is just fine. But I would definitely make a long-term review as well. Please give me some time to pile up some kilometers on it. I have been riding the other motorcycle, the FZ25, for a couple of days, so this one did not clock much kilometers after I shifted to Motul. So now I would be riding this motorcycle extensively, so you could expect I would be piling up good amount of kilometers very, very soon. And once that is done, I would definitely give my verdict about this engine oil in this motorcycle. So yeah, please stay tuned for that. And yes, one more thing I would like to mention over here, guys. I am so thankful to y'all from the bottom of my heart for supporting my channel, for liking my videos, for commenting on them, and for the overall support that y'all show in my channel, for my channel. I'm very close to the 1000 subscription mark in my channel, and I'm so happy and so grateful about it. So that's it, guys. That's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, do hit the like button and share this video with your friends and family. And if you're new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification beside it so that you do not miss any single update that I put up henceforth in my channel. That being said, it's a lovely Sunday afternoon around 2 o'clock. So have fun in life. Enjoy your Sunday. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely day ahead, guys. Have a lovely day ahead. Bye-bye.